Very good scrimmage. I was really pleased with certain parts of our program that we've really improved. I think just putting it all together offensively, we need that. You've heard me talk about, you've seen some of our open practices. We really need to just put the ball down and move it. Obviously there's a fine line there with all the tackling that goes on, but this was a full live scrimmage over there today, and I think we stayed relatively healthy, and we got a lot of good work in, and we really needed to do that. Like I said, just put drives together, figure out the quarterback situation, and you know, in other positions, just see who could play for us, and all those things. I thought the offense really played better than I expected by what I've been seeing in practice. You know, this week, it was nice for them to put it together. I thought they really did some good things, and that's why we need to do that. You know, just put it down and go, so they could put all their play actions together, and the runs and the passes and all those good things. So it was good to see. I was a little frustrated defensively, just because when we do go with that tempo, you know, it does suck the life out of defenses sometimes, and we saw parts of that today. We're not arrived or anything like that, but it was better. At times when they put good play on top of good play, it gets hard to defend, and that was good to see. I'd like to see the defense respond a little better.
I'm sorry for interrupting,
that's okay.
But you said quarterback, so you know where the next game is.
Yeah, you know, it's really hard to figure out. You guys have been here. I've opened up practice, you know, for you, and you saw 2 full practices, 2 or 3. What has it been? But you know, watch all the practices. It's the same thing. You know, I just don't want to make a decision when I'm not ready, when we're not ready. It's just, you know, each guy does some really good things at times. We'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out here in the next week.
How's rule change?
We'll get it figured out. And there's, you know, there's some guys that are doing some really good things in certain situations. We're starting to see what the strength and weakness is from each quarterback, and really what we're going to be. What's our identity offensively? So that'll kind of fit and play into that decision.
Are you narrowing it down somewhat then? I mean, do you feel like that's safe to say?
We are. We've really tried to keep it open to this point with being equal with reps. With the exception of Max because of his shoulder. But the other 3 are getting equal reps still at this point in time, and got equal reps with the ones for the most part, depending on the drive. But, you know, let's put it this way. Every time you think you might be close to making a decision, maybe somebody has a real good practice, or that guy doesn't do as well. So, like I said, we'll get it figured out.
How's the quote-unquote rule change going to affect the Temple offense?
I don't think it'll affect the tempo of it very much. No, it was good. We had SEC officials out there today, and you know, they let you go as fast as they could set it. They're not going to go out of their way to rush and jump over people to get the ball set. But when they're ready, they go. You know, obviously when the offense substitutes, I noticed them today. They did a nice job of holding it until the defense gets their subs in, and then they let us go. If there's no substitutions, it could go pretty fast.
But the 3 of the quarterbacks are so young. I mean, when you judge them now, do you also have to think, yeah, they may not be good in this area now, but boy, they got big upside where they could get good in that area? And how much does that figure into the final decision you got to make?
It factors in. You know, it factors in. Obviously, you know, talent factors in. And like you said, the upside and where we're going to go. You know, one of the reasons why we're trying to be, you know, very critical of ourselves in making this decision is because it's so important. And when we get that person the reins, we want them to go. You know, you've heard me say that all for a year now. Every time, you know, a year ago when we thought we were giving somebody the reins to the quarterback situation, something happened. Maybe they got hurt, or maybe they didn't play very good. So we want to make sure we're very precise in our decision making, and once we give them the keys to the car, we want them to drive it.
Is there anyone particular today that gave your defense fits? You know, tough to stop.
I just thought, honestly, not any one person stood out to me much today that way. I thought they did a nice job, but you've heard me say it time and time again, making the routine plays. So when we have our play passes or situations and we have a slant that's open, we catch it and make a first down rather than be 2nd and 10. That's a huge difference. And so that I noticed, just our operation, we were more efficient today. So more so than any one person. I really thought a lot of the guys played better offensively.
Back in the spring, you were searching
Yeah.
for a position for Darren Blaylock. In other words,
Right.
and talk about how he's fitting in.
We're trying to play him at the will linebacker position, and he's gotten a ton of reps, and we're seeing if he can help us at that position. So he's getting some playing time, and
He's
we'll
alternating
see where it
with
goes.
Khalid Henderson.
Pardon me?
He's alternating with Khalid.
Yes. No, he's getting second team reps. Khalid's getting first team reps.
Okay.
Mark,
Did
your
the
voice-
fresh-
Your voice seems more upbeat and more excited now. Or is it just because you just came off the field, or am I reading it wrong?
Yeah, I'm more upbeat today. I say. I'm always upbeat. What are you talking about? What do you mean? No. I think we're making progress. I think we're making progress. Again, we know we have a lot of work to do. It's frustrating at times that certain situations, injuries, and when you got to play some young guys, it gets frustrating at times. But it was a good day. I think we got a lot of good situations in today. We got some good short yards in. We got some good red zone, and just the tempo of the offense with SEC officials. Game-like conditions, it was good. Good to get out there and operate a little bit. There's a lot of things we got to go get cleaned up right now before the next practice, but I thought overall we made some progress.
Coach, yesterday, a rotation into your defensive line. I mean,
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys. We're getting a bunch of reps in there. Obviously, with our offense going fast, and if they're putting wrong drives together, there's a lot of guys that got to play. So we're just trying to develop all those guys.
Well, I
Did the-
assume you don't want to have a quarterback competition every year.
Yeah.
Does the future factor into this decision at all, or do you just try and think for the now?
No, I think you got to look at putting ourselves in a position to win games right now, and whatever happens from there, we'll see. But you also heard me say earlier that I want to give the keys to somebody and let them go, and so we'll see what happens.
Yesterday, Neil spoke very highly of Thaddeus and Blake. What are you seeing out of these younger receivers? Similar things
Yeah,
to him?
Thaddeus showed up again today. I thought he had a couple of nice plays, and Blake is going to be a really good player. He's a little young. He's a little, he needs to develop a little bit more physically, but he has that ability to go up and make catches over people, which we haven't had for a while. The bigger receivers, you guys were at practice, even a couple of you commented to me, to see bigger receivers out there is nice. Now we got to get them to grow up fast.
Did the freshman?
When your offense is executing and making those plays, does it help you defensively from a teaching standpoint as well?
It does from an urgency standpoint. Sometimes when you break things down and we could line up a pressure or line up a defense and you have all the time, that's easier to zero in on what you're looking at. That tempo creates problems because you've got to have a great sense of urgency to get lined up and execute the call quickly and think faster. And we're much further along than we were all year last year, but that's the good thing. That's what I told the offense. That's what they can do when they go put that kind of pressure on you. That's what helps them and puts pressure on defenses. You all watch college football, you see some great defenses struggle with tempo because it neutralizes you a little bit and what you can call and what you can execute.
Was that the best you guys have done at that on a scrimmage or something since you've been here? I mean, it seems like the most.
I think so. Like I remember a scrimmage or two last year where they showed signs as well. But I think this was probably the best we've looked. Part of that, I never like seeing plays where it's just given to them. In other words, they're not really beating anybody. That's just somebody not getting lined up one way or the other. Or a defense stopped them just because they dropped it. That's not good to me. I'd rather see just good football and people making competitive plays. And again, I think we're growing in that area. We're not there yet, but we're certainly getting better.
How important is Mike Douglas as a senior on that line to you?
Mike's real important. He's done a really nice job. He's really playing hard and playing well and being a good leader, and I like his energy, and he's really doing well.
Mark, with summer school over, do you know that you have a full complement of guys available for the fall, or is that still, with eligibility-wise, everybody's clear to go this fall?
Yeah. As far as I know, I don't see any of those people come grab me at practice. Yeah, it looks good.
Is that a coach's worst nightmare when they come and grab you?
Yeah, you get a little nervous when you see some of these suits come and grab you.
Where do you feel like you are with your secondary right now?
We didn't play as well today, and for me, part of that's good, because you see the offense going up and making some plays, and the receivers getting stronger and making competitive plays, and then it obviously frustrates me from a defensive point of view. So it's always that double-edged sword there. But we're better, and I know you get tired of me hearing me say that. So that's not, I don't know if we're playing at the level, championship level by any stretch, but we're improving, and guys are improving. I see them working hard. And the good thing about a year ago is we did get some good experience from a lot of different guys.
Okay, folks, need to get to our players in the soccer.